All right, guys, let's move on to the next scene. So let's open this guy up here. So we're going to open up scene number 1 from A to B. This is just transport a box until it reaches a sensor. So open this guy up. I'm just discarding any changes that I made to my previous scene there. And here, if I wanted to not have my sensors or my actuators yet, remember that I have options here to show all of my sensors. So I have one sensor here. It looks like it's a retroreflective sensor where the light goes out, hits a reflector, and then comes back. And then I have one actuator, which is the conveyor. Okay, then I've got a box that's sitting on the top here. Again, I can double click on the conveyor. I can right click on the center here, and now I can pivot around on that point. And if I'm right there, I can then zoom in to the motor there. And I'm not in play, right? So I'm at the stop right now. And it looks like if I click on this and then I go to configuration, there's 3 different configurations I can have for this conveyor. So it can be digital. So I'm just turning it on or off and it goes in one direction. I can go digital plus minus. So I can go on or off, but in either direction. And then analog, where I most likely have a 0 to 10 volt signal. And I can go in forwards or reverse on the conveyor there. Okay, I can also make use of an encoder. So we're going to look at that as well. Okay, zooming out here right now, we're just on digital. If we wanted to know which direction that the conveyor is moving, then along here, hang on, I'm going to move the actual conveyor. Along here, there should be an arrow on this bad boy somewhere. Interesting. On this one, let's see if we hit play, whether there's an arrow that's there. No, this one actually doesn't seem to have an arrow. We'll look at the other conveyors and see whether there's an arrow that denotes the direction that it's going. Okay, so in order to control this, if we were just in Factor.io, we could go to View, Dock All Our Tags. So I can dock all my tags and it can show me that both the conveyor or the sensor. Or I can clear the dock tags and then I can click on the sensor and then click on the conveyor, and now I have the ability to control both of them, or to monitor the sensor and to control the conveyor. It looks like at the moment that the sensor is true. You can see that it's highlighted here. So the light is going out, bouncing off the reflector, and then coming back to the sensor, showing that it's true here in that it's yellow. And then if something's off, you can see that it's grayed out here like the conveyor. If I press this, this will turn on the conveyor. This will turn green. Obviously, the box will move forwards. And the conveyor should turn to a yellow hue. Blue hue, sorry. Blue in that it's actually being forced here. Okay, so I'm turning this on. And then when it gets to the sensor there, the sensor is true. And now the sensor is false in that it's grayed out there. Excellent. We can also control that with Control.io. But before I do that, I'm going to hit stop because obviously if we hit the conveyor here, we got to hit play here, then the box is going to go over, trip the sensor, but then obviously the box is just going to drop off the end of the conveyor. Boom. Conveyor stays on. Let's turn that off. And it looks like that may be super loud for you as well. So if I go to options and then go to audio, let me drop that audio right down there because that's probably screaming in both of our ears there as I record. Okay, so going back. So yeah, the box just stays there and then no other box appears, which is not good because then we'd have to stop and start the simulation again. So let's do this, guys. Let's put in an emitter. So if I hover over this, the name doesn't come below the unit. You can see it just down here. So there's emitter and there's the remover. So we're going to make use of both of those guys. We're going to delete this box out of the scene. We're going to grab this emitter and we're going to move this over. Now, if this was down on the ground, then obviously moving it over, we can't lift it on top of the conveyor. So I'm going to click on the emitter. I'm going to hold down V for vertical, and now I can move it up. Okay, then I can move it over top of my conveyor here. I'm just going to move over to see what's happening because it looked like it was on top, but obviously it's not. So moving it over, and then we're going to drop it onto the conveyor. So hitting V again and dropping her down onto the conveyor. And it looks like it needs to move to the right just a touch. So we'll move this guy just a touch to the right. Beautiful. Okay, so now we've got our emitter. If I hit play, then you'll see that boxes are now going to arrive here. Okay, but I don't have anything to take care of or get rid of those boxes or those pallets on the back end of the conveyor here. So let's drop in one of these guys, the chute conveyor low. Right, so we're going to drop in this. So let's grab this unit. I'm holding down the mouse button. It's coming over. It looks like I need to hit V to drop her down to the ground. And then I need to flip this around. So I'm going to right click on this guy. And then I'm going to hit yaw and change the yaw of the unit there. And then if I move it over, then I can hopefully line them up. Let's just go over top and make sure that everything's cool. Nice. So now once we hit the play button and then force the conveyor, then obviously the pallet is moving along. It'll trip the sensor here. We have another box that comes through, but then it's just going to drop down and then stop again. So what we need is one of these guys, a remover. So we're going to drop this guy over. We'll hit V to drop her down to the ground there, and we'll just line it up with our simulation and make sure everything's cool. So it looks like this needs to move her just a touch. Beautiful. Okay, so now when we hit the play button, we're still forcing the conveyor on, so that's moving. You can see that there's different sizes of boxes that are coming through on the pallets. It'll get to the remover and then just disappears on the remover there. Cool. Next thing I want to show you is that you can change the components that are coming out of there. So out of this emitter, you can change the max and the min time. You can also do random part position, random part orientation. Then you can also change the base to emit, right? So we can do it. So we can change this to, instead of the pallets, we can do a stackable box, and then we can just do like different types, small, medium, large, and palletizing box there. Okay, so I could also do, we got base to emit. So let's do none, and then part to emit. Let's do stackable box, and I think that's, yeah, let's unselect this guy. Beautiful. Okay, so now you can control which types of parts are coming out of there. So now if we hit play, now all of a sudden we've got a box. Well, obviously this one doesn't work with this type of conveyor. So I'll show you a different type of conveyor that we're going to make use of. That box right there, the stackable box, looks good. This one's just enough. It's the large enough box that it'll move. These little rollers are actually moving along. So the smaller box was jumping around, but the medium and large boxes seem to be good. And the stackable boxes seem to be cool as well. Beautiful. Okay, going back, I could change the part to emit. So the base, I'm going to do a square pallet, and then we can do the different types of boxes, but I don't want to have the pallet. I don't want to have the stackable box and the palletizing box. We'll just use these guys right here. Okay, hitting play again, and you can see that we now have a pallet and different size of boxes that come through now. Okay, if I wanted to change the timing of this, so I could do the min time to 1 and max time to like 5. Hit play, obviously get a box right away, but now the timing of the next box is going to be coming in different frequencies here. So you can see that now there's a larger space between those guys, and again much larger between this one and the next box that's coming through. So it's completely random timing of the components that are coming through out of the emitter there. Beautiful. Okay, let's stop the conveyor here. Next thing I'm going to show you is how to control this conveyor with Control IO. Cool. So let's revert our animation back to its rest state there. So I'm going to hit play, restart the animation, and next thing we're going to do is we're going to go to File, Drivers, and depending on which Factor IO you chose, you either have the Advantech or you have the Allen Bradley version, or you've got the Modbus TCP/IP version, or you got the Siemens version. In terms of mine, I have the Ultimate. You probably chose the Ultimate as well if you're going to do it for 30 days. So we're going to make use of a program called Control IO. From what I understand, both programs came out separately, so Control IO and Factor IO, and now they've been combined together. So Control IO, if we start this guy up, it's now down here, so I can open this guy up. And this one's like a function block programming environment. So for these guys, I want to throw in a source. So I'm going to have a Boolean source. Okay, so I've double clicked on Boolean, and now I can turn my source on and off. Okay, and then in terms of tags, super cool. This is really cool. It already picks up all of the, I mean, obviously it's from the same company, but it already picks up all of the components that we have there. So we want to control the conveyor, and then we want to look at the sensor as well. So it looks like the sensor is high at the moment, or a 1, in that it is blue here. Don't be confused on this 1 here. This 1, if I go to here and go to properties, the 1 is actually the address. Okay, so it doesn't mean that it's an actual 1. Okay, so we're looking at the sensor there. There's a number of other components there, but essentially all we have is just the conveyor and the sensor at the moment. Now what we need to do is we need to link these guys up. So we're going to link up this guy and the conveyor. And so now every time that I turn on the power source here, that's going to bring my voltage to the output conveyor there, and that's going to obviously turn this guy on. Let's release any forces that are there, and let's see if this works, guys. So we're going to hit the power button here and see if the conveyor turns on. And it looks like for some reason, because I stopped the animation, but we need a pallet there. So we need a base to emit. We want the base there. Okay, so there we go. Okay, cool. Otherwise we're gonna have that smaller box. But now we are cool. Okay, so hitting power, guys, turns on the conveyor, and you can see that the blue light is illuminated here. And once the pallet goes by, then that will turn off my sensor output, and then it goes high again. Okay, we have random placements of our pallets with our boxes here. If I stop this at any time, then it stops the conveyor. And at this point, the sensor is also false, because if we zoom in here, then the sensor is just being tripped off by the front face of this conveyor, of this pallet here on the conveyor. Sweet. Other things to note is that, like, say I wanted this sensor to turn on my conveyor. It looks like if I click here and drag this over, as soon as I have something there, then it isn't able to hook up. Can it go parallel? No, so it doesn't seem to be able to do a parallel at the moment. So if I click on this link here, eliminate this, and then put sensor to the conveyor now when we turn this on, then it should be that when the sensor is true, then it turns on my conveyor there. So let me reset the animation here, and let's go back to this unit. Obviously the sensor is true. Hang on. Let's redo that, guys. So let's reset the animation here. The problem is that every time that I hit the factory IO, then we lose the control IO, but it's moving, and then once the sensor goes false, then my conveyor goes false there. Interesting here that that it doesn't seem to have a knot as well, right? Like in a lot of function block controls, you could put a knot in between these guys. So again, if I reset the animation there, then the conveyor is turned on because the sensor is true, and once the sensor goes false, then the conveyor goes false. Okay, beauty. Let me show you the other types of conveyors that are there as well. So we can't see the pallet until we stop this. So we'll hit stop. There comes our pallet here. And this is all the different types of components that we make use of in Factor IO. So in terms of conveyors, there are these roller conveyors. Roller conveyors are in 2, 4, and 6 meter lengths. Here, let me just bring them onto the scene here. So we've got a 2, a 4, and a 6 meter. Now I see where the arrow is. I don't know why I missed that before. Okay, so here's the arrow right here. So if we zoom in here, there's an arrow here, here, and here. Is there an arrow on? Look, I was trying to see on the side of the conveyor. There's the arrow right there. So all of these guys are set up so they're all in the same direction. Let me zoom in again. Okay, so they're all pointing in the same direction, and obviously we got 2, 4, and 6. And if we needed to change this guy so it was oriented the opposite way, then we would right click on this guy and hit the yaw and change this guy, obviously giving it enough room to switch around, and we're 180 degrees from where we were there. Okay. We also, as we said, we also have curved roller conveyors, so we can drop them in line with these bad boys. Here, let's move this guy this way, and then we can line this bad boy up. Excellent. Are they actually lined up? Let's see. Yeah, it looks good. So different sizes of conveyors. And obviously if this one was feeding into here, with this direction being from left to right, then we would have to change the orientation of this conveyor as well. So let's change this guy. Beautiful. Line her back up. And this one would also have to be changed. So you're just changing the yaw in order to make sure that all of your conveyors are aligned up there. Okay, what other things do we have here? We have a loading conveyor. So there's a loading conveyor here. Then we've got this guy right here. This is a chain transfer. So chain transfer will be able to have two components. It'll have the ability to, with the arrow here, to bring components in. Right, so the roller portion will work, and then the chain transfer, if we turn that on, then it will allow the if we hit play, then the chains will, let's turn that on. That turns on our positive. We'll have a negative for that guy as well if we change the orientation of it. And then in terms of transfer left or transfer right, then if we turn those guys on, you'll see that this lifts up and then the chain moves over at the moment to the left. Turn that off, they drop down. And then if we click this one for chain transfer right, then this will lift up. And now we're going to the right there. Beautiful. It's opposite of what we're expecting because the direction of the actual conveyor is like this. Beautiful. Okay, let's go back to, so we're going to hit stop and let's see what other conveyors we have here. So it looks like we've got a belt conveyor. Again, belt conveyors are in 2, 4, and 6 meter lengths. And to connect those guys up, there is the curved belt conveyor. Okay, so you can have this one lining up with your other conveyors. Beauty. And then what's this bad boy right here? This is belt conveyor gate. Okay, so we've got gates to put on here as well. It looks like if I needed to lift that up, remember you can hit V and line those guys up. And then to bring components off of there, you've got either the belt conveyor inclined, right? So this one will actually turn on and bring components up to another belt conveyor. Or you can, if you're bringing stuff off of there, then you can have, what's this one called? The chute conveyor. Okay, so a number of different components. What else have we got? There's some pivot arms that we can put in there. There's a stop blade, which we'll look at later on. Looks like we've got a scale as well, and then a pop-up wheel sorter. So this pop-up wheel sorter is pretty cool. So let's get rid of everything else. Let's bring up this guy, and it's got the other direction there as well. Beautiful, cool. So if we hit play, then it can move components to the right or to the left. Okay, obviously if both of them are turned on, then it's going to go straight. So left and right. And then pop-up wheel sorter, if we click on this guy, what does that do? So that brings everything forwards there. Beautiful. That turns the unit on, and then we can go left or we can go right. That's super cool. Nice. So a number of different components that we can make use of. Let's go back to our original unit that we had over here, and we'll show you how you can change that motor orientation. I'm going to pause this video here though, guys, because that topic of actually controlling the conveyors, moving it forwards and backwards, and then having an analog control of forward and backwards, really deems like a new video of its own. So let's pause here, guys. Check the next video in the playlist, and I'll show you how to control each of these conveyors. All right, we'll see you in the next one, guys.